Hanging there, north side of the globe when I rise.
106.9 FM. Let's go to a caller.
Yeah, I just turned on this new sports betting show and it's freaking sick. With Brad Evans giving picks, Crack talking shop, and Rob Pizzola with his DJing friends.
Don't forget the sports broker Geoff Dawson, hosted by the one and only Doug Kezirian.
Finally, a betting show that's not bullshit.
Shush.
We ballin', singing.
I'm guessing this is a new training group. All right.
All right.
Welcome to Westgate. You're all on the podcast. You're all on the podcast. Welcome. Millions of viewers are going to be here. So if any of you are on the lam, it's over. It's over. This is about the casinos. People saying, oh, they loosen the machines on Friday and tighten them back up.
Total myth, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
But
there's no loosening the machine.
There's no loosening the machines.
Right.
Now, granted, the machines have a random number generator in the machines where they pay back a certain percent, and the casino could set it at a certain percent. There's minimum state guidelines, of course. But, I want to tell you something, though. I do believe in stuff. I pulled them out of my bag before, like an Italian horn. Someone has to give it to you as a gift, and it supposedly, wards off the Malokia. And believe it or not,
my stepmother loves that word.
Yeah. So,
she's Italian.
I have to tell you though, why do I still carry that black horn? I probably never did it until John Orlando was around me, but it doesn't matter. It works though. I've had some good years since I've known you.
Yeah.
But having that horn though, even I believe in that. That's what I wanted to get to. People bring a lucky rabbit. Remember years ago, a real rabbit's foot.
Yeah.
Think about that. How do you
barbaric
cut off a rabbit's
when you think
foot?
about it.
But
Yeah.
Everyone used
when
to
you're
have,
little, it doesn't register.
It doesn't register. But it's just it's the random number generator, and there really is no. I like what they used to say. Machines are set at the end of the bank to pay more in the middle
when
of
you
the
first
bank.
walk in.
It would make sense.
It would make sense.
It would make sense if a machine that years ago you had the buckets of coins.
Yeah.
So it would, or even now though, your tickets.
Yep.
You have machines that are set at a higher payout.
Right.
There.
Right.
By the cash out cage. And it would make sense, but as far as I know, what I read, they say no.
Yeah.
They say no, it doesn't happen that way. So it just, I find that kind of interesting.
Crack is one of the most knowledgeable guys out there, so it's certainly helpful to have him dispel some urban myths as it pertains to the casino floor. Welcome in to the Whiparound. I am Doug Kezirian. This show is the very first of its kind, a variety show of sorts, combining clips of a few recent betting segments and shows from all across the country and even in Canada. The NBA season starts this week, so we'll look at how the offseason impacted the future market. Also, what's going on with prediction markets and how big of a player will this be in the sports betting space, especially with the main sports books limiting successful and smart bettors. And that's where we go next with the Circle Back crew.
Yeah, there's just a lot of these real books. They don't let me bet. I'm not like a known winner. Some of them, there was one or two of them, or I guess a lot of them locally as they popped out. I didn't even win a bet at.
You're price sensitive. They don't want you, Geoff. They don't want that you're going to bet at their book when you're getting the best price in the market.
I know I keep making the comparison, but I find it hard to believe that people are like so price sensitive. Like I'll never wait in line for gas. When it's like free slushy day or something, no.
Dude,
never.
You see those Costco
like I would
lineups
just
for
rather
gas?
pay double to go to the front or just come back another day. I'm not waiting for free scoop or free slushy.
You go to Wonderland, you get the fast pass. You're not waiting in the 1 hour line for the roller coaster.
But when I want to buy something, I just I know the 4 places that sell it. I see who's got the best price. I see, okay, well, that, how far it is from me. And then we make that decision. So I don't know what, sportsbooks want to penalize me for doing that.
Yeah.
Is essentially, and that's weird because I'm not a winner and I just like betting really recreationally for the most part.
Yeah. I think there's a very clear answer to what he's asking here, which is why are limiting decisions not more regulated? And it's because you need the regulators to know what they're doing. I mean, the reality is, let's call this out for what it is, but this is to generate tax revenue for different states and provinces. As simple as that. And when you do that, you just keep the sports books happy. And unfortunately, that's what the state of regulation across North America has been so far. There's very little protection for the players. Even in case, I always go back to the Plus EV Analytics case where he tried to sue Caesars. Like, for them not to rule in his favor is absurd. And it just gives you a general view into how the landscape currently is. So I agree. There should be way more discourse about that, but I doubt that there ever will be, to be honest.
One aspect of sports betting that still baffles and bothers me is how sportsbooks can just refuse service to anyone their little heart's desire. Hey, after all, I actually give DraftKings CEO Jason Robins a lot of credit because he's transparent about booting winners from their sportsbook. But overall, there's just no regulation on this front, so it is allowed. The marathon that is the NBA regular season begins this week, so get ready for monitoring the status of various starters with load management and then the corresponding betting odds movement. For a full breakdown of this offseason and what that means for the odds, here's the sports broker himself.
Welcome to the Market Report. I'm Jeff Dawson, your sports broker. The NBA season is upon us. Let's take a look at the charts. Top of the heap, your defending NBA champs OKC Thunder, a prohibited favorite to run it back and win the title again, followed by the Cleveland Cavaliers in the Eastern Conference, basically running their same team back. But the big move, the Denver Nuggets, 16-1 at one point, and now a low point at 6-1 with their trading of Porter to bring in Cam Johnson and bringing back Mr. Brown and Mr. Hardaway Jr. themselves. Tier number 2, the New York Knicks, Eastern Conference runner-ups. New coach, no problem, same starting 5, added some depth to their bench as they are the second favorite behind the Cleveland Cavaliers. And out west, the move of the summer, the Houston Rockets acquired Kevin Durant, and they were as low as plus 750. Now, Fred VanVleet, torn ACL, out for the season, has ballooned to about 14-1. Look for that team to make some moves as the season progresses. On to the old guard, the LeBron-less Lakers and Luka Doncic tip off against Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler. Both teams made their major moves late last season. We'll be monitoring the market throughout this campaign. Back to you, Doug.
As Geoff mentioned, the Lakers didn't do a whole lot this offseason except not extending LeBron James. For the first time in his career, he will play on the final year of his deal. Usually it's a 1+1 player option. So it all signs point to this being his last season with the Lake Show. As for the Lakers, they're really Luka's team. And I'm shocked the win total did not move more than one win on the news of LeBron missing about a month of the regular season. 46.5 wins feels kind of high, so I'm definitely on the under in that one. The West obviously loaded. Still ahead, we'll head back to the casino and explore potential dangers with expanded sports betting across the country.
We're not saying it's time to take your personal safety into your own hands, because that would imply the responsibility wasn't yours to begin with. How about keep these matters in your own hands and bring the right tools for the job? Tools like these, designed by survival experts to make you feel like one when it matters most. From the summit to the swing set. Gear you can rely on when everything else relies on you. By Uncharted.
Everybody's wearing Skims.
Hello there, Duncan Daydream Hotline. What can I do for you today? Oh. You're hot. I see. I think I know know what you're really craving. A strawberry daydream refresher. I'm sorry, did you? Creamy cold foam and strawberry bliss. Sabrina's Strawberry Daydream Refresher. Only at Dunkin'.
Welcome back to the Whiparound. Let's head back to the casino floor with Bill Krackomberger, who sheds light on the domino effect and potential dangers of expanded sports betting.
To be real blunt, I think we need numbers like this. We need services for people out there. There's so many jurisdictions that, like I said, that have gambling now that weren't used to gambling their whole lives. I think of my cousins out in Ohio on my dad's side. Hardworking, blue-collar country people. There's casinos. There was always a lottery or scratch-offs or something.
Sure.
But there's casinos everywhere. There's racetracks. There's so many. Now there's sports betting. There's so many things there, and I just know from them texting me out of nowhere. I have a cousin I haven't heard from in 30 years. Maybe 25 years.
Yeah.
He texted me. He said, "Hey, cousin, a long time no see." I didn't even know it was him. I thought it was his father. He said, "Oh, you do a lot of sports now. Can you maybe help me out with some of my parlays?" I said, "Wow, I don't realize Ohio. I probably didn't realize they even had the sports betting. No, when I did a show out there at Cincinnati, I did know that there was sports betting, obviously, from one of the shows I did, but I just didn't realize how it affects everybody. So we need these kind of 800 numbers."
Competition usually leads to change, so now that prediction markets have arrived, what is the domino effect there? Will we see the market share numbers change, especially with California and Texas not legal for sports betting, but they are allowed in the prediction markets? We'll head back to the Circle Back crew.
Pardon my ignorance on this.
Yep.
Politics is obviously big, but is it like bigger than like a niche sport? Like golf and hockey, would we call those niche betting sports?
I would say that there's like tiers of sports, and they're definitely like tier B. They're more niche. Like I would consider ping pong. Or
I would even say maybe
volleyball.
Tier C, honestly.
Yeah, to be
for
niche.
golf and hockey, though.
Yeah,
Because-
so I'm just saying, like, is
football's one, and then,
politics
basketball.
bigger than?
Well, what are we considering politics? Like the U.S. Presidential election, or like the other stuff? U.S. election, yes, would be in that, but the mayoral race is like big, but wouldn't even say as big as that. But also, to be fair to Kalshi here as well, like there's not really, obviously election day, there was a lot of bets, which clearly shows here, but a lot of people are placing bets pre-election, way before, unlike true. NFL.
But this is saying it was on that day specifically.
But to Kirk's point, he said like a lot of people will get their election bets in way prior to election day.
But same with football.
No, but NFL, the market's up for a week. The election market was up for 2 years.
And
4
also,
years,
just from like industry studies, the vast majority of NFL bets are coming in day of. Sadly,
right?
Because the general public
don't do that.
What would get more action, the presidential election or the Masters?
I think the presidential
the election.
I believe.
It's a good question, though.
I think the presidential election would get more action than an entire month's worth of NHL.
Wow,
yeah.
That's a big claim.
I could be out to. I don't know. That's just an educated guess, but I believe that would be the case. Because people like to bet when they are opinionated, and you know what politics is? It's a lot of opinions on both sides, and people like to put their money when their mouth is.
So if you think people want to put their egos on the line with their ball knowledge, politics is like 10x that.
I at least it's on the same level, I would say.
I don't get what people think prediction markets are. It seems like they think there's this whimsical place where the market makers make money and the traders make money and everyone makes money. Sportsbooks make money by people losing.
Sure.
And they lose money by people winning, and they limit. The idea that there have been exchanges for years. These aren't that different. Right now, by like some...
Well, there's one huge difference.
What?
Which is that because of the way that they're regulated and defined as a prediction market, that the liquidity is through the roof.
Well, also that they can, like Polymarket is like states that FanDuel and DraftKings can't right now.
Correct. Yep.
But like, I feel like this is why prediction markets will crush sportsbooks in the near future. I can tell a personal story of an exchange that had massive liquidity, and there's going to have to be a breaking point where, you know, if FanDuel and DraftKings get into California and get into Texas, that I'm not sure that these prediction markets are like the absolute way of the future that everyone is claiming. I like them and I support them, and I think they are way better, especially because you can predict a lot of new things now. But like, I feel like we're entering this imaginary world where people think that these prediction markets are like, for sure, everyone is going to be making money, and it's just, that's not possible. You need recs on prediction markets for it to function, and DraftKings and FanDuel know that they need recs and they need to limit sharps. And I'm not saying, I don't think the prediction markets will limit these sharps, but I think that there's going to be a time where either the market gets really sharp and a lot of people are going to leave. They're going to have to recruit more recs, or especially if FanDuel and DraftKings get into new states. So I just think that people are a bit delusional right now of where prediction markets are, and a bit delusional on how DraftKings and FanDuel make money.
Sure. Okay. So just to counter that, right? You have one platform, let's use DraftKings as an example, where pretty much no sharp can play. That's not to say, listen, there's, you know, I'm not going to pretend that I live in a fantasy land. Like, there's VIP accounts that are given out to sharps who will bet into them. There are some maybe sharps who can fly under the radar, but it's a really low percentage. That is all recreational flow, the vast majority of it. Now you have prediction markets where definitely the ratio is much different. Absolutely. But if you're a rec and eventually a prediction market can offer you a similar experience to that, there's no reason that you wouldn't at least try that. If you're going to lose on a DraftKings, you can also lose on a Kalshi. And to me, the ecosystem is just much stronger when you allow everyone to play in some capacity.
Even though betting is still sort of in its infancy, at some point, every consumer with betting will pretty much will treat betting the same way they can treat other consumer goods. That if like somewhere else is offering the same product, it's a little bit different, they'll try it. And sure, they won't be able to bet on will the first pitch be a ball or a strike, but they'll be able to bet on will my country bomb that country.
Yeah.
And there'll be other weird niche things where like, they have niche things in sports and they have niche things in other things. And I just know, like, if I need a certain product, I'm going to one store. If I want other products, I'm going to the other store. If I know 5 stores sell what I want and within range, I'm going to the store that has the best price. That, like, I don't know, like, at some point, I don't understand, like, how people who line up for like for like 4 cents cheaper gas,
right?
Don't like, and I'm not saying everyone has to be price sensitive. Like me and my buddies don't care. Like if a line changes 4 cents, it's the end of the world for you guys. And I'm betting $200. I don't care about $8 added or to my bet. Like that doesn't matter to me. And I think you guys understand how casuals would think that. But I still don't understand how people aren't just price sensitive in the sense that like they will shop at other places. No one is exclusive to any place. Mm-hmm. It's like if that's it.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I just don't think we've seen that much evidence because there is like a bit more of a barrier of like putting money into another site. Like you already have money here, and betting's a pretty compulsive thing. But yeah, I don't disagree. I think these prediction markets are really good, and I like them. I just think they're being presented as this place where everyone can win money, and it's like that's just not possible.
No, that's definitely not the case. So like, to be clear, I think that the future ecosystem is just a balance of both.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what there are going. I will say what I think something that Kalshi has done very recently that is a really good move is they've made it look more like a traditional sports book. So it's you go to a football game now, it basically looks like you're betting at a sports book, even though they're classified as a prediction market. I think that was a very smart move because so if they have those advantages at play, I don't see how they're not going to take market share. I really don't.
I seen it on Miles to Memories first, but I also see an article on it now. So there was a job posting that said they're looking for a graphic designer to fake betting slips. So a recent posting on the freelance job platform Upwork raised eyebrows according to the sports betting community for seeking a graphic artist to forge FanDuel betting slips. So they want you to
see
forge.
One bettor has a parlay that's
Right.
live. It's all
That's
nonsense.
exactly right.
I've been thinking that.
Deceptive purposes of being for marketing and production. This is for someone out there to say they hit big things and try to scam somebody.
For touts.
Yeah, I don't know if it's really for. I think this is maybe for these. I don't know. I think it's for a bigger site though. It looks like for the money they're paying people, $30 an hour to work 30 hours a week remote.
Yeah.
1 to 3 months is the long-term employment. They're meant to make a lot of tickets up. It just makes me think of how many of these things are fake news.
Yeah.
The Whiparound will be right back.
Some people think nature is like this. It's actually like this. Don't worry, a raccoon broke his fall.
Not again.
Mother Nature can be a real motherfucker. That's why Columbia engineers everything we make for anything nature can throw at you. Columbia, engineered for whatever.
We're going to end the show on a somber note, but it's for someone that absolutely deserves the recognition. Sports betting personality and former odds maker Dave Sharapan recently lost his battle with cancer. Dave was a friend of mine and many others, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around his loss, but the entire community is feeling it as well. It's a giant void. He was an uncommonly good man with as big of a heart as anyone I know, while also being super interesting and entertaining. That was so special about him. He was a great dude, but also such a, noble man as well. I always left our conversations with a smile and smarter solely because of Dave. I feel for his wife, Jessica, and their 3 daughters. It's an incredibly sad time right now in the sports betting space. Rob Pizzola and the fellas also shared their perspective.
I get pretty emotional with this stuff, so I'll try to keep this together, but Dave Sharapan passed away, Sportsbook Consig, which was very much a surprise to me. Honestly, I had been chatting with him pretty frequently over the course of the past several months as well. And I first met Dave on a Bet Bash panel a few years ago. It was the infamous me, Sharapan, Benson, Fezzik, Ravel panel at BetBash. And I talked to Dave a lot that week. Extremely kind-hearted guy. Told me he'd been following me for years, really respected my honesty, the way I put myself out there. He reached out to me in November last year after I did an episode on this channel about the state of current sports betting, which I just kind of rambled on for about 40 minutes with just thoughts. And he reached out to me and he said it was the single best piece of content that he's ever seen. And a lot of it resonated with him. And we were chatting a lot over the past several months. I didn't know that his cancer had deteriorated to this point. So very much got caught off guard. But I was recently diagnosed with melanoma as well. He was one of the first people that reached out to me about it. So overall, just a great guy that I will miss, the community will miss. There's a GoFundMe for his family as well. And hate to end the show on such a somber note, but he deserves a lot of respect and earned a lot of respect from the community. So if you can support the family, please do so. I saw some big donations in there. Pat McAfee with like a $14,000 donation to the family, which is very impressive. Anyone who can do anything, he deserves the help. The family deserves the help. He was truly one of those people in the industry that nobody would say anything bad about. You will not find anyone that says anything bad about Dave Sharapan. So hope he rests in peace, and sucks losing good people in the industry. It's just a sad reality, unfortunately.
That's going to do it for this show. I just want to add one note that I attended Dave's funeral, and per his request, he wanted everyone to wear a jersey, and that was Dave's signature. He wore jerseys to events, to host while hosting shows. He was a giant sports fan and loved showing that. Dave Sharapan, gone way too soon at the age of 55.
Stripped of all my
we see sports betting just becoming part of the culture.
It's a madness.
The whole paradigm in sports betting content and media is kind of broken too. There's a huge wide open lane for this new media concept. Throw away the old studios and the high budgets for production.
Who gives the best dating advice in the locker room? Shout out Trey.
Bring the best content creators together under one umbrella and let them stick to what they like to do, which is creating great content.
Look at the handle, 790 million.
Caitlyn is actually so much bigger than Tiger.
There you have it. And it's not just sports betting.
That hits the pleasure center of the brain.
It just felt like TV.
Sick. Felt natural. Watch that, We can settle in. We're hanging.